Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Quality Time with Kemba, Life Lessons with Love. Alright, so today, I am going to walk on you guys, mostly females, buttons. Okay? Because somehow along the line, we females were taught, right, that we were more valuable than men in this generation, in this generation, this new age society, because we all know long time we used to dote on men and we were all mixed up. So I'm here to kind of clarify, and it's only on my opinion, right, guys? So keep in mind this is only my opinion and based on what I notice and my life, right? Um, Obviously I would have mentioned that my mother abandoned me, guys. So, I was left with my dad to be raised. Which was back then, because I'm 31 years old today, back then was like, wow, like how does someone could leave this man with a child, with her child, and just leave and go and stuff like that. And my dad take the responsibility, and I talk about she left when I could have been like around 2.5, 2 going on 3. And my dad took the responsibility of keeping his beautiful child, his lovely daughter, which is me. Right? I hope one of these days you guys could meet my dad and see, the seed that I've come from, okay? That beautiful little swimmer, you know, that DNA, that, all right? But anyway, I think that women nowadays think that men have no value. They have this narrative that it's all about us and a little bit about y'all. And then they fight for equal rights. First of all, we are not equal. You don't compete where you don't compare. You are not equal. If we were equal, you would be able to have kids. But you're not. I am. Right? We don't compete where we don't compare. We have this narrative where because we could work, okay, and what? You could work, I could work. That don't mean we're equal. That have nothing to do with it. We are not equal. Our men, if you go back to the biblical stage, I am more spiritual, that's what I'm just saying. But if you go back, Eve wasn't created first. Adam was. We were extended from a rib of Adam. If we were equal, Eve and Adam would have been made at the same time, would have been one. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. And people a lot of them had to understand that we are just not equal. It wasn't meant to be. We have two different roles. It comes like if you want to compare someone who working in forestry and someone who working in, let me say, food. That is two different things. Why are you comparing and competing with that? You don't compete where you don't compare, right? And that's why I think by a lot of that being misconstrued, we as women, we disrespect men and disregard them a lot. We do. Because for some strange reason, this voice that we get from feminism and all these things, right? We disregard the importance of our men, our kings, right? Our protectors. We can't protect and guide your own self, and I'm not saying that it's impossible for a woman to run a home because I'm a single mom and I do everything. But I will never allow that to make me feel like I could overpower my man or emasculate my man. Right? I would never throw in my man's face, I'm single by the way, but I'll never throw in my man's face, okay, I have my own place and I don't need you. I never give that narrative. If you feel that way, it's for based of your own observation. But it's nothing like that. I know the importance of a man based of seeing my father, right? And my father would have trained me, and notice I use the word train because my father have a style where he talks a lot. He gives a lot of life lessons, right? So when I were like around 7 or 8, we had this game, this matchsticks. We used to get like a box of used matchsticks and you would shake it up and drop it, and you have to take it out without touching. I don't know if you guys know. It's something that what is called that game, Jenga or whatever. It's something like that, but it's not really it. But it was a matchstick game, and I loved that game with my dad. And whilst we were playing the game, he would just talk. And I remember my dad was explaining to me. He said, "Daughter, when you get older, always remember, when a man gets up his bed and goes to work and earns his money, always remember that that money is not your money. The man who waking up and going to make that money is his. Always remember to somehow," now my father made me realize how important it is to be independent, but also be a team player. Meaning that the generation and the whole society go, one person can't be working in a house alone right now. Based on survival. Long time, a man could have be the breadwinner and have a stay-at-home wife, but because of the cost of living, it can't be that way right now. Unless if he's extremely rich, and still it's not good. You have to participate at some level in a household, right? And a lot of women feel that they're entitled because they're giving up sex, right? Because we have the ever-blessed pum-pum and all this stupid narrative. Listen, I am young, I'm 31, I'm not young. I know, but I don't let them think it in my head. And you see, music influence a lot of them. You understand? This best pum man. I'm not saying that I don't have the little fling and the little sting in my but I don't let it affect my characteristics to the point where living with a man, I believe you must be strong enough to take over when your man can't. But you must never ever feel you are above your man. Your man is the head, right? If you feel that men have no value, right? It's the seed. Your egg is be sitting still, and it's the seed that is do all the work coming to you. So, if men have no value, think about it. This really have no purpose in this egg to procreate. Have no purpose in it. It's remaining right here. Right here. You need that swimmer to come and activate the process here. So they play a proper and a key role already before even being born, right? The level of importance of this action being taken here by a man. You can't do it. You can't do it. We are not equal. You cannot compete where you don't compare. That's not making sense. I believe that a man is so valuable. The eyes I grew up seeing my dad in, listen, my dad did everything. He even tried combing my hair. And he used to try to cook, and he would take me out. Most of my life lessons that I have now, the way I just shop, the way I just spend money, the way I just budget, the way I just prioritize came from my dad. My mother was no way wrong. The way I could shave eyebrows and do these things, because my father wear many hats to make sure it had food on the table. The role of this man, protecting, providing, even nurturing. So men have a different light in my eyes. I see the importance of a man. I have seen how men will watch men. They're strong in a different light. And I'm not bashing or bringing on women. But it's time that we open our eyes and really realize that men, the reason why men right now, I think somewhere along the line, it have to do of a disconnect with the female. It have to have a balance. Right? It have to have a balance. If you as a man is a good man, you come from a stable home and you go out there and you meet, and it's the same thing with women, and I'm not saying no, but right now we're talking about men. And this man is a good man and really love a woman, and for some strange reason this woman distort this man energy to the point where it changed his whole view on women. It has come from a disconnect somewhere along the line to rub them the wrong way about one species, one gender. You know what I mean? And it's either or vice versa. But right now, as again, we are speaking about the male. Why it is we female disregard male, the emotions, they go through a lot. I used to see my father, when he can't provide, he would have a nasty attitude. Right? He would have a nasty attitude because he's beating himself up as, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I have a different understanding and view on that. You can't compete where you don't compare. As much as we women want our men to understand us, we need to understand men. And as I said before, something about men, that the male, something about this gender that is so beautiful. It's almost like men are misunderstood. They are not taking the time to be understood. Nobody really, they disregard men. And in turn, they react, they retaliate in a way that we don't understand. And instead of trying to understand, okay, this is why he is reacting this way, or this is why certain things he's responding to in a certain way, instead of we try to understand, we even push further of disregard and disrespect and real craziness. I have this story where I had a long time friend, and as I said before, guys, I always attracted more mature crowd even when I was in teenage years, right? Because like I would have told you guys, the friend that I had in Bagaloo, she was always older than me. I was all 21 and she was all 35, you know what I mean? I always attracted a mature crowd of friends. And I had this friend, right? The guy was an army. He was in the army. He was an army man, right? And he dote on her, basically. Dote on her. And she would call my phone. I was never a person that liked to be extended periods on the phone talking nonsense. It must be interesting. I mustn't feel like I waste my time or whatever like that. And I would remember she would call and she would be like, yeah, he just give me all the money and everything, but I not giving him nothing tonight when he come home, because I know business about he, because she was already having sex with somebody else. But she was taking this man money, his time, his energy, and if anything happened, for some strange reason, die the one she calling. She not calling the one he wanted with. And until that day, I asked her, I said, so why every time you're in a jam, you would call this one? I said, because deep down you know that this man is a good man. Deep down you know that this man would sacrifice here. But yet, you're going around this next man who you know. And the sad thing is they married, eh? They married. And the sad thing is you know. But the level of disregard and disrespect. Now, I know saying that the man was perfect. Right? Because little petty things the man used to do, like snoring. Like, if you know you don't like the man, why marry him? Why marry him? Why marry the man if you know you don't like the man? To treat him that way. Right? To treat him that way. And it's like, it don't stop. She keep carrying on and on about he snore and how when he cook, he not cooking the food good because she does nothing. She does nothing more than, listen, my girl always wearing the, guys, my sandwich. My girl wearing the latest. She hair always done. She nails always did. She not cook and she nails to not cook, to not do anything. And it's like, how far you would go with using somebody and treating them like that? Right? You know, it's starting when she finally leave him and they married her, they separate, she separated from him. And the minute, and go with the next man, eh? But the minute that she hear that this man get food from somebody or talking to somebody, she would go on his job, go by the army site and thing, and act up and ask to see him and go by his family members and thing and cause a scene and real crazy. No, I say that to say this. When you treat somebody like that and then it's like you hate them to the point where you don't even want them to be happy even after you. Even after you. Men just go through a lot that they don't talk about. Because in some way, society make them feel that, you know what, being vulnerable and showing your feelings, you is not a man. And it's have women who just do that. It's have women who just do that. When you're crying for you, is not a man. You see that one honey and them crazy. Crazy. You all need to realize the importance of our men, and we are not taking care of our men. We are not giving our men the love they deserve. We are not giving them enough credit. When Mother's Day come around, you just hear the big rave, you just barely hear about Father's Day. It's like, it's a whole one-sided thing. And by me, I just celebrate men. Guys, I'm telling you, most of my friends is male, and I just keep lying to celebrate them. Because I know they need that. They need that. Sometimes they just need to, they need to be reminded that, hey, it's not a special day, you know. But I appreciate you. We women just expect to get more, to be romanticized. When last you romanticize, and I'm not talking about money, but when last you just look at your person, your male, and say, babe, you know, everything you do for me, I just appreciate it. I don't ask my father for a thing. And when I look at my father's eyes, I see the world. I see the world. Because what this man did for me when my mother left, and still doing for me, because as I said, my son going on before in September, and my mother never met my son. But my dad showed up with a brand new tablet 2 days ago for his grandson. The love he just give my grandson is touch me sometimes. And I don't want to get emotional, because I always do. But the love he just show my son is like me remembering, sometimes nostalgic, remembering how you would speak to me and teach me. And how you would say, you know, Lenada, when you see you get older, when you get older, remember that be proactive, be independent, be self-sufficient, but also share. A quick story, guys. Just the other day, my cousin was telling me, we made a bake together. And when I cut the bake, I always give the bigger half. And it's a natural thing within me from my father. When I was younger, we have an orange tree. I love orange. I used to pick like a bag of orange and I would freshly squeeze them into a glass instead of sucking them and drink it. I'm strong like an oxen. You ain't getting me sick just so. Okay? Right? And I remember I had a friend, we had the same name. I was Nadia, she was Nadia. So they changed my name to Nadi and they kept her as Nadia because, you know. And I remember me and Nadia would squeeze orange whole day and just drink. Squeeze, drink, squeeze, drink. And it turned out the last orange, right? And when I cut the orange, I purposely cut it uneven. And I went to the bigger side. Now my father was around and he saw me going to give her this small piece of orange. It was ridiculous. Because guys, the orange like this, I would have cut it like that. And she was getting like that. And my dad could have seen that, okay, this is not a mistake. And he was watching me cut this orange and smiling. Because I know I was going to keep the bigger piece. And when I carried the orange for her, he held me by my ears. And bring me. And he was like, let me tell you something. Whenever you're sharing, you always give the bigger piece. And give me some bouquet on my hand. Pop, pop, pop. And that never. In front of my friend, eh? And then he make me take the big orange and give it. So I was more pissed off. So I was like, this now. You know? Because, Daddy, how dare you? You don't beat me for that. Because the more the bigger half of orange. But that lesson never left me. Right? So that is why I give a lot. People who know me know I would give a lot. But I always give the bigger piece. And keep this smaller. So my father teach me, always be in a position to give in that way you'll always have. I always had a friend because my friend would see the genuine way in which I would share something, in which I would give. And, you know, I always give genuinely. You understand? Stop and really appreciate our men. We are meant to be strong, but submission, a lot of people don't understand the word submissive. Submissive doesn't mean to listen to your beck and call. No. Submission back then means your husband is your guide and your protector. When he say move, it must be for a reason, for the safety of the entire family. Meaning that when your husband who's steering the ship say, hey, lean left, it's for the benefit of the entire family. Lean right, lean left. And when your husband not able to do that, your wife must be strong enough to stand up and say, okay guys, husband, buckle up, lean left, lean right, lean left. Because she would learn it from her husband to stand on her feet. So that God knew that life is not permanent. Nobody come to turn a rock. So in case your husband die, you must learn so much from your husband that, excuse me guys, right? You must learn from your husband. You would have learned from your husband how to navigate the ship and how to take over. It's not to be submissive into nonsense. Your husband go and cook, so I have to go and cook too. Right? Your husband go and cook, you have to go and cook too. Your husband sleeping around, so you have to do around. It's not like that. Your husband is to encourage nonsense, or let us take the negative narrative and things to a different level, and like always only soak up the negative things instead of really researching, right? Really researching. Nobody not expecting you if you're hungry to eat shit. You understand where I'm coming from? Value our men. Take pride in our men. As much as I dislike my child father, I still have a love and I shouldn't say much of a respect, because you know, but I mean, I have a tenderness and a care because of how I view men. If he come for a plate of food now, I would not refuse him. If he needs something and I could do it, I will do it. You understand? Let God give me a boy child because they are kings. They are generation starters. You cannot survive in a universe without our men. We cannot procreate by ourselves. They are important. They are needed. They should be loved. The same way we want to feel magnified and doted on, we should execute that same thing to our men. Right? Women have this way where we in a relationship and the man should do a lot for us. But ask yourself as a woman, how much do you really put in? And it's okay, you know. It's okay to feel your feelings and acknowledge your feelings because you are an individual. I can't feel somebody else's feelings. But if somebody come and tell you, okay, I'm feeling sad, or you notice someone down or going through a rough time, it is not hard for you to acknowledge and empathize with somebody else's feelings, especially in a relationship when it comes to our men. Because our men, it is normal for a woman to come and say, I feel in this way, and go and prattle off a man's ears. A man wouldn't do that. You will just realize he's moving different. That is his way of screaming out something a bit off, or just in a little time for myself, or I'm not feeling valued or appreciated. When I was in my last relationship, and then too, you have to learn your personal love language. But even I'm not talking about specific relationships, but the men in our lives. The men in our lives are very important, guys. Our family, look at your father, look at your grandfather right now. To the women who watch my channel, stop today. And I'm not talking because it's Father's Day coming up. This is a very convenient time, because Father's Day is a Sunday. But look at the men in your life. Uncle, your cousins, the men. They do a lot for us. And sometimes I see a man retaliate into a situation is because, guys, they're going through something and they just don't talk like us. They don't compete, we don't compare. It's two different things, right? Pay attention to our men. Love them the way you want them to love us, and don't stop. I don't hate none of my exes. I love them all the same way. I wish them well. I wish you guys blessings in your journeys. I don't hate no one. I might, in the moment when I'm angry, say a lot of crazy stuff. I'm still human and I'm still Kemba. But I cherish the men. With me, I would have never been the way I am today without men. Without these men in my life. My dad especially, who never left my side. And when he does, it was for a lesson. Everything he did was a purpose. Men are very important. I love you. I love the male gender. You guys are important. You guys are worth waiting and fighting for. You guys provide. You guys work extremely hard. Nothing you guys do is in vain. You guys are lovely. You guys are magnificent. You guys are a key role into our existence, in our procreation. Without you, we can't do it. We need you guys to stand in your power, to continue bettering yourself, to steer, the ship. Take on a leadership role and stand in your power. If you guys are not being treated correctly in a relationship, end it. If you guys are not being valued, end it. If you guys' words are not being acknowledged, end it. You deserve love and good things just like us women. Just like us. Guys, I'm not keeping a long video today. I just want you guys to really, really acknowledge the hard things, the hardship men go through, and how hard men work. Respect their time and their money. Right? Don't knock down a man to buy a weave and only have it like that. Show the man that he's a team player. That, babe, listen. We have it hard now. We'll get through it together. Be a team player. Two heads are better than one. You either value more than you value yourself. You know what I mean? If that make any sense. So there's a person value themselves less than, and one feel like, okay, I worth more. That's what I mean. I mean that either worth more than you worth in the relationship. In any life is relationships. Matter it be intimate or just friendship, platonic or whatever. Realize that this meal is just as equally important, but we are not the same. Right? A key is have a hole. I mean, a key is going a hole. It's not the same. It's two different things that need each other. Right? That need each other. Give that man love, guys. Stop and watch how hard they work to provide, to give you. You ask for something, a woman will ask a man for something more than a man asks a woman for. Let me be real. And in some cases, I'm not saying it doesn't have users, it have. But in some cases, very rare, you will get a man really dependent on a woman. The ratio for that is 60-40. Because I don't want to say it doesn't happen, it does. Right? But it's a way of life for women, mostly. I am not saying you don't have independent women that doesn't handle their shit, that doesn't do what they have to do. I'm not saying that. And again, do not take none of my messages today and put it in a box to make it your message. No. I am saying from my point of view, we as a gender, we really disregard men. And we treat them a kind of way for a long time, a decade and more. Because somehow we feel we really run the wheel. Let Beyonce them get us. Who run the world, girls? Who run the world, girls? So don't listen to no man. And she perfectly listens to Jay-Z. There's one of the power couple. She listened to Jay-Z. Why is she telling you, girl, you run the world, and I don't listen to your man, no? Don't listen to your man, you run the world. Why she cannot disobey Jay-Z? Right? So I am just saying, use discernment into the music and the messages that you're listening to. Use discernment. You have common sense. Is this a song? I didn't like that. I one song I never like from Beyonce. Because I believe, coming from where I come from, I have seen the importance and the value of our men, and I would forever walk in that light. I have value for myself and women too. Because like I said, we do not compete, we don't compare. Our woman is very valuable. We are nurturers. But we have two different roles. We are not the same. We will never be equal in the sense of, when I say equal give and take. But we will never be equal in the sense of, I feel that I am a man. I don't know how to explain it. How to explain that, Jamila? You know, when I say equal nowadays, they feel like you're going on your voice and my voice can match up. It was never meant to be like that. Because even in the Garden of Eden, Adam would have been telling Eve, listen, you'll clean up here today.
I feel that come from literature.
It came from society.
Yeah.
But Adam and Eve when that was to let go, Eve was made to help Adam, not control Adam, not have the same voice as Adam, but to help Adam. That's why there's something called female intuition. You understand what I'm saying? He gave us that special thing. We are not the same. We are not equal. Stop telling yourself that. It's a lie. We are valued as the same, but we are not the same. We're not equal in image and likeness in that kind of way. We are two different things, right? We're supposed to be equal give and take where the love is concerned and the tenderness and the care. And let's be real, women, we don't give the same equal tenderness and care to our male. And it's something we need to really get back, right? And like I said, I will do a video for women because I don't want all of them to misunderstand what I'm saying. But half of the time a woman is disregarded, and how hard a man work in the family. A man will get up every day and go there and you don't know what he's battling to come back with something to put on the table and for you to buy nonsense. For you to buy nonsense. For you to buy the big long lashes, for you to buy the weave, and for him to still provide for himself and the children that you're bringing forth. Right? And he's still taking allowance because somehow you feel because you bear them children and you his wife at home, the money he making is yours. And that's a lie. I'm here to bust that bubble and tell you that's a lie. All these things that this man providing that you're overlooking, that you feel is that he has to do, he doesn't. He doesn't. Nobody has to do anything. Nobody has to do anything. Meaning, yes, we have to play our parts. But really and truly, nobody can make nobody do anything, you know. But yet you're overlooking this man and what he's doing. Yet, you're overlooking the fact that wherever battles and things he's going through all day, sometimes a man coming home to not even a cook meal. Sometimes you don't even want to cook for the man. You understand what I'm saying? He not even coming home to a cooked meal. He going out there on a hungry stomach and all, and you lie down home normal. This is the dynamic I'm talking about. I am not talking about the dynamic where a woman trying to think with a man and they're fighting up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the unrequited love, where as we overlook what the man do and only focus on what we're not getting from them and what we do. Half of all they have this narrative where you do a lot and you're this and you're that as a woman. I just hear them, you know. I just hear them. I just hear the woman and them. Right? And like he never do this to me. And what kind of thing? I just be there opening my leg. And half of the time it's just only be opening the leg that has a trump card. But when last we massage, you know the man working masonry. He ponging concrete whole day. And when the man come home, the man say, "Get my back hurting, man." You ain't even responding, you're there in your phone. Right? You're there in your phone because you're a hot girl. You're there in your phone and you're there singing up. You ain't gonna say, "Well, let me rub this man back." That is the situation I'm talking about. I am not talking to the women who love the male, who love the male person. I'm not talking about the women who know that you're going on, they try their best with the man. And the man know that and still doing all the and they're doing whatever. I'm not talking about that dynamic. I am talking about that situation where it has a situation where men are mentally abused, even physically and emotionally abused. And a man is love harder. A woman, I could leave a man today and a woman could fall in love, let me say next week. A man mightn't fall in love until 20 years after because they love harder and they love different. They just have the different way, they just have the different system. And we as women don't take the time to want to learn their system as much as we want them to learn our system. Alright guys? So again, I'm not take my assignment for you females out there is to stop and look at your man. Look at your grandfather, your brother, your thing and watch them. Observe them. And you would see that somewhere along the line they get up and they go out and look at the receive. Look at when they come back home and how they are being received. They are always looked over. They looked over. And you would realize a lot of this happen when you home and then you come home to a man When I was younger and I would go home, I would go and check my mail. You know, how you would receive me, you could see. You know, you glad I come. So that when your man walking, it's like, and I guilty of it too. I am busy and whatever. When he walking, I'm like, all right, and then just continue. Sometimes it's good to just really stop and say, you know what, babe, I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're here. Oh, how you know what I mean? How your day was? You stop whatever you do and anything. We just let our day-to-day activities allow us to look over them as well too and make them feel dismissed. You know, it's a lot I learned along the way, and I just want you guys to know men are people and humans too. Despite how strong that man look when you go in the gym, despite how healthy and handsome and how much attention he gets on the road, I don't care. They are human too. They are important. They need to be romanticized the same way. They need to be loved, and the same energy put into what you want them to put into you need to be put into them. Sometimes we just have to teach each other love language and go based on that. Alright? So that's my video for you guys today. And don't bash many comments. I know some of you female will be like, but I don't care, bitch. This is for the men. And this is just for you to really stop and appreciate them. Right? So guys, happy Father's Day. I know I might post a video before that, but I just say. And this is not a Father's Day video. This is a video that was a long time coming. And more videos like this is going to be coming out. Based on my views and what I would have learned and what I would have seen. Okay? Beforehand. Right? This is my opinion. You guys can comment and debate below. If you guys disagree, whatever your options is. Alright? So love you guys, and to my females, I love you. You guys are different in your own way, where we are not equal, where we can stand up and overpower. A man is not supposed to be like that. We are not men, and men are not women. Alright? It's like the one in maths, it's understood. Okay? So, thank you for stopping by on Kemba's channel. We spent quality time today, and I want you guys to know, okay, that I have some treats coming up, some interviews where these discussions like this will be having, we'll be having other opinions to who willing to fight me on it. You know what I'm saying? We'll be doing it like that, some little interviews with different people to get different opinions on spot, right? So namaste, enjoy your day, and guys, stay blessed. I send love and light to your directions. Enjoy your long weekend, enjoy your Friday, and be safe. Okay, bye.